much or many in numbers as compared to another part. Of course, in this case, we are trying to give a reference using this particular section of our cell membrane. For instance, I've divided this one into 3 specific parts for the extracellular part and 3 specific parts for the intracellular part. Now, if I compare this first part and this one, we can see that the first part, there are no particles. But the second part, in this case, for the extracellular parts, the particles have reduced, bearing in mind that we are moving, maybe trying to compare this section of the cell membrane against time. So therefore, at a particular moment, you find that there are some specific particles which are remaining at this particular section, and as time goes by, these particles are going to decrease in number. But in the intracellular part, contrary to the first one, we're going to see that there are no particles at this specific point in time. But as time goes by, we're going to see that there are going to be some number of particles, and then eventually at a specific time, the concentration between these particles in the outer environment and the inner environment will have changed. So in this case, they are moving against this specific membrane, and therefore we are going to see that there is the concept of a concentration gradient, or maybe a diffusion gradient, that is going to be, of course, experienced at that specific point. Now, having mentioned of this concept of the concentration or diffusion gradient, this basically refers to the difference in concentration of particles between a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration, and therefore this difference in concentration is referred to as a diffusion gradient. Now we're going to see that this process of diffusion, as we have said, is a movement of particles from a region of higher to a region of lower concentration. Probably, or maybe as we can say, moves across this diffusion gradient, and at one specific point there is going to be maybe concentration is going to be higher in this part as compared to this one, or there is going to be an equilibrium point, and we're going to see the role of that specific part. Now, our main focus for this in discussing this particular process was to try to figure out its role in cell physiology, and basically we're going to see that if the minerals that are existing in this extracellular part are essential for the internal part of the cell, perhaps for the usable for the cell organelles that are found in the cytoplasm. Therefore, they are going to be absorbed from this extracellular part to the intracellular part for that particular case. So we're going to see that one of the functions of